So, hello, it's Mark Dodds.
I'm sorry, goodness.
Here we are. Mark Dodds, People's Pub Partnership, one of the pub professionals, one of the Pub Persuaders. I'm in the garden of the Micropub. The garden is a yard. It's a yard. Have a look around. It's a yard. With Simon Turnbull.
Rutherford.
Simon Turnbull. I'll tell you who Simon Turnbull is. He's a man who imported Absolute vodka into the UK originally.
Yes.
He's from Crook, County Durham. He used to live. Sorry. Simon Rutherford. Maybe start again. I'll edit it out. Simon Rutherford. He's about to open up Scotland's first micropub in Kelso, and I don't think you realised it was going to be Scotland's first micropub when you started out on this, did you?
I thought it might
Here
be.
he is talking on his own.
I thought it might be, but I had to do a bit of research just to make absolutely sure that we definitely were the first, and I did that, and to my surprise nobody else had actually started one yet. There were other small pubs, but not ones that follow the Micropub ethos.
Yeah. So, Kelso, tell us a little bit about Kelso.
Well, it's a very historic town. There's a lot of tourism interest there. It's always busy. It doesn't matter what time you go into the town square, time of year or time of day. It's a bustling place with both a mixture of locals and tourists coming in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know Kelso a little bit. It's a really pretty town, isn't it? And
it is.
There's that huge square in the centre that dominates the town, and that you mentioned the name of the hotel.
The Cross Keys.
The Cross Keys, a huge, beautiful building. It looks like it could be continental, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
We're right next door to that. Right next, dwarfed by the Cross Keys, in fact. But
so the shop that you're taking over is right next to it.
Yes. The old knitwear shop's right next door.
Yeah.
Right through the wall is the Cross Keys. Unfortunately, there has been a trend on high streets for retail shops to become empty, and there's nothing more unattractive in an attractive town square than lots of to let signs and empty shops with bill posters in the window and that sort of thing. So
just let me. So what gave you the idea to do a micropub? Where did that come from?
It was just I was in a situation where I needed a change of career path. I've worked more of my life for myself than I have for other people, and I was just looking for something exciting and doing a bit of Googling and that sort of thing like you do.
And you got a background in interior design, is that right? In graphics?
Yes, interior design and graphics and photography and period property renovation and conversion. But my father has always been a brewer or involved in distilling.
Really?
Yes. And in fact, he was responsible back in the early 70s for getting the Isle of Jura distillery back on its feet again after it being derelict.
Fantastic.
So he's a bit of a local hero on the Isle of Jura.
Yeah, I bet he is.
He's still got lots of interests in that direction. He can't stop working even though he's officially retired. But I've always had an interest in good quality beer and how it's made and what goes into creating it right from being a child.
Yeah.
So this idea of the micropub just totally grabbed me when I heard about it.
Yeah.
And the more I looked into it, the more it made sense.
So, and I mean, forgive me for putting words in your mouth, but it strikes me that you've got the opportunity to pull together a whole load of your different experience and talents and skills from your background and your interests.
Like, yes. And I'll be honest when I say this, that it gives me a great deal of pleasure, whether it's design or cooking a good meal or whatever it is, giving other people a really nice experience. And I always try and do that at home. I'm sort of known for it. Being hospitable, I do all the cooking and stuff, and I want to get the best possible beer and local produce and basically share that with other people. It's it sounds corny, but it's like a really, to see somebody really enjoying something that you've...
Sounds great to me. That's what it's all about, I reckon.
You've sourced and looked after, and like the cask beer.
Yeah.
And I plan to hopefully do it as well as the Curfew.
I think it sounds well. We had a little chat earlier, just before this, and You were telling me you've sourced some fantastic organic chutneys and
Yes,
and cured meats as well.
Yes, venison charcuterie from the Highlands, which is absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
We're working on complementing various drinks with food produce, and we discovered that we did a taste test of trying ales with different local cheeses from Doddington.
All right.
And what a combination. I find now that we can't have the cheese without wanting the ale. And
Oh,
vice
great.
versa.
Fantastic.
And there's various combinations with craft gins that we've discovered that we'll be serving.
What, regional as well?
Yes, regional
Yeah.
as well, but the craft gin will be served in a completely unique way, which we haven't actually discussed.
That's a trade secret at the moment.
I'm unsure whether to share it.
Oh, well, let's leave that for the time, for the moment.
Okay, but it'll be unique anyway.
It can be
that's for
revealed
sure. Yes,
when you open.
Yes, when we open.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about when you're opening, because we're April the 21st now.
Well, it's looking.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's going to be the end of May, beginning of June. Now that all the licensing and permissions are in place, really all there is now is to get the builder, who's absolutely superb, who's done a lot of our building work before for other projects.
So you've got a working relationship together already?
Yes, yes, and he is absolutely, he's the best. So he's very much in demand. So we're just hoping we can get him in.
Yeah.
Get him in time.
And is he involved with the bar as well? You were telling me about this extraordinary bar. Is that another secret you'd like to keep?
No, that's it. That's a separate. That's a very interesting guy that isn't on social media of any sort whatsoever.
Really? Yeah.
And he is an incredibly talented artist, as well as being an engineer and joiner as well. And he just relies totally on word of mouth. And I heard about him through somebody, and he lives quite close to us, up in the hills on a farm in the middle of nowhere. And we're working on what will be a very, very striking bar up there to celebrate the history, and it's basically going back to what pubs used to be back in Edwardian and Victorian days, where it was just like somebody's front room.
Yeah.
The lack of music, fruit machines, big TVs, and mobile phones being discouraged is a benefit rather than a.
Will you have Wi-Fi?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. There's some micropubs that nail mobile phones to the wall.
That's right. Yeah.
If you're caught using one, we're not going to be as extreme as that. There's another place that finds people and donates it to charity if they're caught using one. But like I said, I don't really want to. I'd rather not have people using mobile phones.
So will you allow people to interview people in your pub?
Well, yes, like we're doing there.
It's all promoting the movement, isn't it?
The
craft revolution in micropubs.
There
and
are
so on.
exceptions, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple of other things. You mentioned already that you're in Wikipedia, and as Scotland's first micropub, and the Micropubs Association they've recognised you as that. Yeah.
Yes. So we're now absolutely certain that we're definitely the first.
Yeah. It's quite an achievement to be there before you've even opened.
It is, but there's basically everything's in place now.
Yeah.
So we are definitely the first. And just really looking forward to welcoming people and opening up and doing what we've promised to do.
Great. There was another thing you were saying, which really struck me as being very interesting right at the beginning when you were talking to Gemma inside. Gemma being one half of Curfew. And that is, you were saying you're having difficulty getting some people to supply you.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I'd better not name the companies that I'm trying to persuade to deliver to me, but both of them deliver here. I'm sure you know who you are.
Yeah.
One of which is based in Edinburgh, and the other one's north of Durham. And both of them seem totally reluctant, even though we're actually geographically south of Berwick, to offers a delivery service. And yet you've managed to secure supply from, did you say Arran?
Well, I've all over the place, much further afield. It's not a problem from the individual brewers, and it's actually I just can't. I don't get why they.
Yeah.
But I'll get through. I'll get over it.
This is not a criticism. I just think it's really interesting to note that it's possibly yeah, it's a problem you wouldn't anticipate being a problem, really.
Indeed, I have got a backup plan, and that would be I would just do all the logistics and bringing the beer in from all the different breweries myself rather than having the distribution networks do it.
Yeah.
So we will open and we will be serving the best of ales as promised.
Well, you're still going to
be a bit more complicated for me.
Well, you're still going to get great ales, whatever. It's just it's
regardless,
just a bit of a bump that you didn't quite expect. Now, I find that very interesting altogether because for reasons that viewers may understand, to do with my interpretation of the supply network in Britain being dominated by big players and making it difficult for smaller people to actually get their stuff out there. But
I think when they hear the word micropub, they think micro business.
Yeah.
But as places such as this have proved, it's not necessarily because they're so popular, because it's such a good concept.
Yeah.
It's not a small business as I think they think it is.
Yeah,
that's
indeed.
Part of the problem. It's a misconception.
So I suppose the last thing would be, so you're Simon Rutherford.
Yes, yes I am.
I didn't mean to give an advert to the man who imported something else, but and the pub is going to be called
Rutherford's Micropub.
Yeah, and its address, well, it's in Kelso.
38 the square in Kelso.
And next to
the Cross Keys.
The Cross Keys, so you can't miss it when you get there.
You absolutely can't miss it. No,
Yeah.
It's a nice little building. It dates back to the 1800 and something, and I'm very, very careful with old buildings, having dealt with historic buildings in the past, to preserve any original features and celebrate them, because there's a lot of good things from the past, and I think Micropub is a modern concept, but it's taking away all the bad things that you get from a modern pub and leaving just the good stuff.
Great.
That's why I'm totally behind the Micropub movement.
Brilliant. Sounds great.
Looking forward to opening Scotland's first.
Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to visiting you when you're trading and stressed and really busy.
Well, it'll be a pleasure when we're up and running.
Cool. Well, thanks, Simon. And
thank you.
That'll be it. And I'll try and edit it so all my grunts get taken out. All right.
Okay.
Cheers then.